Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What's going on? My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Thank you for being around. We're halfway home, a little past halfway home, as a matter of fact, as we've got 8 minutes past 5 o'clock on Super Talk. Thank you. If you're just getting in your automobile, maybe you're still at your place of business, already home, I appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble, thank you. Hello. We appreciate you watching. If you're listening on 99.7 FM in the automobile, we'll try to get you home safe and sound, tell you where the problem areas are. Ken Weaver's happy to tell you that most of the problems are happening on I-24. All that to say, we appreciate you. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986 is our telephone number, and we would love to hear from you on any subject of your choosing. 0057 writes in and says, I'm a conservative, but let's talk about what Van Epps is going to do for Tennessee, not what he's going to do for Trump. Well, I mean, I think those things go hand in hand. We have reached a point, and this is a very good point. I'm not a conservative. I'm a libertarian. I do not belong to the Republican Party, so I am not a part of the club. I would not belong to any club that would have me as a member. That's an old Groucho Marx line that I've taken up as it's almost my life motto at this point. Well, my life motto is go fast, don't die. But the secondary motto is I wouldn't belong to any club that would have me as a member. That said, I understand the sentiment from 0057 that as a conservative, you want to know what's happening right here in our hometown and right here in his home district. But we've reached a point in American politics where it is not a matter of what I consider what you are going to Washington, D.C. to do for me, what you're doing in Washington, D.C. to bring things home from D.C. I don't want individuals going to Washington, D.C. to do things. I want people going to Washington, D.C. to undo things. There is far too much impact in our daily lives from Washington, D.C. right now. And as a small government libertarian, I want to see most government decisions made on the local and state levels. And by most, I mean over 90%. The Founding Fathers believed that the only things that the federal government should be involved in would be those things that the states necessarily could not or would not have the ability to do. National defense, a unified currency, these types of things. Treaties with other nations, border security. These are roles and responsibilities of the federal government. Unfortunately, the federal government has slowly taken away from the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States and taken away from the role of the states. A lot of this occurred when the 17th Amendment happened. Hey, Jackson, real quick, you want to give us a real quick 17th Amendment treatment? I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. I want to engage with you. You know what the 17th Amendment is? 16th was the income tax. If my memory's serving me correctly, 18th was prohibition. 21st was repeal of prohibition. The 17th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States changed the way that we elect the United States Senate. And previous to the 17th Amendment of the Constitution, state legislatures selected our United States senators. So the General Assembly, after being elected by, obviously, the people of the state, would gather and they would select two individuals to serve as our state senators from Tennessee. And by that very nature, the state senators who then would become, or the state representatives who would then become United States senators, would go to Washington, and their central purpose would be to do what? To serve the state. And they would act in service to the state. The concept being that the House of Representatives, we have two branches of the Congress, right? The House and the Senate. the House of Representatives was the body for the people. The Senate was designed to be the body representing the states. And when we turned the opportunity for the state legislatures to select senators over to the people, those senators eventually came to realize that their reelection and their importance and their focus would be to bring things back from Washington, D.C. to the individual states, as opposed to representing the states. Right now, Kazakhstan has more representation in Washington, D.C. than Tennessee. Because by the nature of how we elect our senators now, they're bringing something home from the federal government as opposed to bringing something to Washington, D.C. in the form of representing our state and defending the 10th Amendment of the Constitution. I'll tell you, if I could repeal any constitutional amendment, I would probably start with the 16th Amendment, which would be income tax, and I would roll over to a fair tax system, which would be a consumption-based tax. That would be number one. Number two would be the 17th Amendment of the Constitution. I believe that we should return our Senate selection back to the states, which would in turn shrink the size, scope, and importance of the federal government. All of these monies that are being spent on the federal level and routing back to the states, most of them come from the states, go to Washington, D.C., and come right back to the states. A lot of this money is just made-up money. It is free money. One of the reasons that we are in the debt that we're in is because of direct election of senators. So all of that to say, if you believe in more conservative government, if you believe in a more libertarian form of government, then you naturally you don't believe necessarily that someone should go to Washington, D.C. to do things. I want representatives going to Washington, D.C. to undo things. To say, you know what? We don't believe that the Department of Education has fulfilled its charter upon its creation in the 1970s. And as a result, we're going to return those duties back to the states. We don't believe that the Federal Emergency Management Agency has done anything other than facilitate giving free money to states impacted by natural disaster. And we don't believe that FEMA in and of itself creates a dynamic by which we see any remedy coming to the individual states any quicker, any more effectively, outside of the red tape that is created when FEMA comes on board and the free money that comes with them. Everybody's so afraid to touch third rails like FEMA because they're afraid of losing the free money. And even conservative voters and conservative-minded people are addicted to some aspect of that free federal money. And I'm here to tell you, I support politicians that say, you know what? I want to go to Washington to undo these things, not to build more infrastructure in D.C., more burdensome debt in Washington, D.C., more rules, more regulations that our founding fathers never intended to come from centralized government to begin with. So when you say to me, what is Van Epps going to do for Tennessee? What I hope that he does is return the rights of the people of the state of Tennessee to determine their own fate when it comes to things like education or emergency management and many of the other rights that seem to have been seized by the federal government in the interest of equality. Equality. Obviously, there are certain things that states cannot do because those things would go against the fabric of the Constitution. But outside of that, the states themselves are 50 separate experiments and should be treated that way. And I would like to see more people elected that believed in that. I'll say one more note on this, and then I'll get to your phone calls. My commentary about the United States Senate and the senators that serve, no reflection on our current representation. I think that Haggerty and Blackburn are good-hearted people. I believe that they have the interest of the citizens of the state of Tennessee in their hearts when they serve in Washington, D.C. But I also believe that they, like the other senators with them, are creatures of the environment that they're in. And sadly, they are conditioned, and I'm not trying to wag my finger at these two. All of them are conditioned to look for answers on the federal level when we ought to be looking for answers at the state level. Does that make sense to everyone? The federal government is not the solution to every issue that we have, nor should it be, nor was it designed to be. Government serves best when it serves only when absolutely necessary. That is a freedom-minded approach to what we're doing here. That is an individual, liberty-minded approach. Mike is next up. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Matt.
How you?
Pretty good. And you just said now that you're not conservative, you're not a Republican, you're a libertarian.
Well, you listen every day, Mike. You should have known this by now.
I do. You have a great show, and I love it.
Thank you.
And I just wish many, many, many more people would listen. But you and I had this little conflict about, Constitution and everything else. You just said that you think the states ought to run everything and not the federal government. And what I am going to ask you,
not what I said. Not what I said.
Well, okay. Well,
I did not say the states should run everything.
Then let me give you a question.
Okay.
Would you listen? Antifa now is running Portland, Oregon, and we've had that problem up there a long time. What if Antifa gets elected into their state legislature, their city councils, these terrorists, and then they elect a governor, Antifa? Okay, so now you have the state of Oregon now run by Antifa. Do you think that's a good thing?
Have the people of Oregon have elected them?
Elected Antifa.
Right, so you're asking me if I think that's a good thing. So I'll answer the question that you asked. You said, do I think that's a good thing? My answer is no. I don't think that's a good thing.
Okay. Now that Antifa is doing world.
Can I ask you a question, Mike? Can I ask you a question before we go to the next? You understand that asking me whether it's a good thing is a different question than asking me whether it's a legal thing.
Well, what I'm asking you is that as a libertarian, do you believe that Antifa has the right to elect people in that state of Oregon and now even Illinois?
Are they legal voters? Are they legal voters? Are they legal voters?
Well, then it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Well, it most certainly does. I mean, come on, Mike. Mike, you and I are just trying to have a conversation. So you're asking me. So regardless of affiliation, regardless of political beliefs, sadly we have set up a system by which if a bunch of socialists decide to elect a socialist, let's say, I mean, look, I'm going to choose a ridiculous scenario here, Mike, but I'm going to choose it on purpose, right? A ridiculous scenario, right? Let's say that the biggest city in the United States of America has an avowed socialist running for mayor. I mean, this would never happen, Mike. I mean, come on. But let's say, New York City has this socialist that's running for mayor, and a bunch of people support him. What would we do about that, Mike?
Well, according to the libertarians, if Mondami wins, you'd have to support it because it's states' right.
No, we don't.
The federal government.
See, you're using loaded language when you say we have to support it. I don't have to support a damn thing. I don't have to support one thing that my government does, but I have to respect its legality. Those are two different things.
But what you just said, though, is you're a libertarian, and you don't think the federal government should be involved in any of this stuff. And what I'm just saying is that when Mondami gets elected or Portland burns their cities down, that's states' rights.
Well, no. I mean, there is something called the Insurrection Act, and the Insurrection Act is a valuable tool that the federal government can utilize when there is obvious insurrection going on and civil disorder going on. The federal government has the responsibility if we find that there's armed rebellion or there's suppression of civil order or rights in given communities. The federal government can then step in if the local or state governments either choose not to do so or they are unable to do so. I mean, we have mechanisms in this country by which the federal government can intervene, but those should be used sparingly and only as a last resort.
So what's going on then in Portland, we don't need to send in National Guard at all, because let the Portland police, who are not going to arrest anybody, and then we got this Governor Pritzker up there in Chicago and Illinois, and then we're going to have Mondami, who is against the police, wants to defund. What do you think the federal government is supposed to do then? They're going to have to go in.
You know, the federal. You know what is your suggestion, Mike? That the federal government should just take over all of these cities?
No. What I'm suggesting is
the federal should the federal government usurp the ability for the local people to elect a mayor of their choosing? Of course they should.
The insurrection is coming from the blue mayors and governors of these cities and states. Okay. That's where the insurrection.
So the remedy here, and I'm trying to answer questions, and you're using loaded language, and I appreciate the telephone call, and I'm trying to be reasonable with you, Mike. But the answer is in the court system. If the governor of Illinois or the mayor of Chicago do something that is against the fabric of the basic civil rights of the citizens of their cities, you can use the court system, or by contrast, you can use the Insurrection Act. You can also utilize the National Guard if so deemed proper by the governors of the given states, as we've done in the state of Tennessee with Memphis. But what you cannot do, and what I would be against, would be usurping the authority of the local citizens to select a representation of their choosing on a city council or in a mayor's office. More on that in a moment. Your calls, 615-737-9986. Love hearing from all of you. 615-737-9986. It's The Murphy Show on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Thank you for being with us. 38 minutes after the hour. I try to respond to as many of you on the Super Text lines as I possibly can. I apologize if I miss getting to you. But I thank each and every one of you for commenting on the Super Text line, 615-737-9986. Once again, I consider us one big happy family. Maybe not so happy in some cases. Because I know I annoy some of you, but that's all right. That's all well and good. By the way, several of you on the Super Text line, I bring this up because several of you have noted that, I failed to mention the 19th Amendment to repeal. And, all I'll say is that the country sure has gone to hell since the 19th Amendment became a thing. I don't know if it's just coincidence or not, but the 19th Amendment is there,
I think so.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll take the calls. I won't. All I'm saying is when women got the right to vote, everything went to hell in a handbasket. I'm not saying what's the old phrase about causation? Causation doesn't equal. I'm kidding. Kind of. I'm kind of kidding. I'm kidding a little. I'm not kidding about the timing. I am kidding about I wouldn't repeal it. I wouldn't deny you an opportunity to cast your ballot in a very emotional way. Hey, it's time for NincomPOOPS in the News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let's hit the music. I don't think Jackson knew what the 19th Amendment was, y'all. Do you? I don't think he really did.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's the everything went to hell in a handbasket when that thing got passed there, Ken Weaver.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Come on, Ken. What is the phrase I was trying to think of? I can't get it in my mind. Y'all help me out. Causation equals. I can't. Somebody will get it for me. I'm not suggest causation doesn't equal equal. I can't even remember it. Let's do nincompoops in the news.
Yes,
somebody on the super text line will help me out on that. It's 20 till the top of the hour. Time to get away from the real news and get to the nincompoops all over this great country, all over the world, throughout the state of Tennessee and beyond. We find nincompoops on a day-to-day basis. Ken Weaver delivers one. Matt Murphy delivers one. Jackson Williams delivers one. And you get to vote on who you think the biggest nincompoop of the day might be. I think I was close yesterday, Jackson.
Ken Weaver won.
Well, are you kidding me?
Did I?
Buddy, I have been here like 12 hours at this point. I have no idea who won. Just going to be honest with you. No idea.
Correlation does not equal causation. Thank you, Andy and Adam and everybody else. Thank you.
Yes,
correlation.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a correlation between these United States of America going to hell in a handbasket and women getting the right to vote. But that doesn't mean that the cause of America going to hell in a handbasket was that women got the right to vote. That's what we're saying on this show. That's our official position.
No, it's not.
Oh, so you do think that women caused America to go to hell in a handbasket? I was saying the opposite.
Okay, whatever you said.
We need to get to our stories.
Jackson. Let me tell you, kid. Jackson came in here a minute ago. Jackson's tired. Y'all don't know this. Jackson's working double duty. He's working the morning show over on the sports station, and then he stays here and he works our show in the afternoons. He's here from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. all week.
Brother, I'm out of gas. The truck is on the side of the road, and we are calling AAA.
Them tires is flat.
Well, and Brother Jackson, you're canceling yourself out. At one moment, you're saying, yeah, it is. Then you're going, no, it's not.
Huh? I'm just delusional.
Hey, Ken, a minute ago, he came in and he was looking bad, and I asked him if he wanted to put his head on my shoulder, and I was playing around. You know what he did?
Put his head on your shoulder.
He put his head on my shoulder.
Brother Jackson's tired.
I patted him on the little head like, it'll be okay, little buddy. And then I felt like, I'll make him feel better. And I said, it's going to be okay. You're on the downhill slide. You only got 2 more days to go when you're done with today, and then you can enjoy watching Tennessee barely eke out a victory against those Razorbacks. And I thought, that was good, right? Got nothing from him. Nothing.
Is that game over there in Fayetteville?
You know, it's in Neyland Stadium.
You're all right.
Mm-hmm. Y'all will win by, I don't know, you'll probably win that game by 4 or 5 points.
Didn't they fire their coach?
They did.
Yeah, y'all are fine.
Oh, but you know who's coming to town?
Who?
Bobby Petrino.
Oh, really?
Oh, Petrino's back, baby.
Well, I
Hope he
knew
brings the motorcycle.
I knew he was the offensive coordinator, but now I guess they put him up there at interim head coach.
Oh, yeah, he wants that gig back again there, Ken Weaver, and he's going to look for a big-time upset at Neyland Stadium this Saturday to put that on the old resume. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be that'd be a highlight, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, he's pretty good at Arkansas last time around, except for the fact that he couldn't keep his hands off the interns. Anyway, Jackson, I'll tell you what, in the spirit of camaraderie and fellowship, and if Ken has no problem with it, I think you should go first.
I have no problem with Brother Jackson.
I appreciate the pity, boys. All right. Florida man with thermos inserted in body
caught biscuit eater.
caught sneaking it into Polk County Jail. Quote from the officer, put it up the exit ramp.
What? Wait. Start over again. I was laughing at the fact that you clearly stole Ken's story.
Son of a biscuit eater.
That's what you get for being nice, Weaver.
I'm not ever doing it again.
I don't blame you.
Florida man with thermos inserted into body caught sneaking it into Polk County Jail. Quote from officer, put it up the exit ramp.
Did you say Polk County Jail?
Polk, P-O-L-K,
Oh, I
like
thought-
James K. Polk.
Oh, I thought you said poke, as in poke it up the old.
He was in the pokey. A Florida man who is no stranger to the law wound up back in jail and the subject of one of Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd's most unusual morning briefings due to how he tried to smuggle a thermos inside the jail.
Hey, fellas, where the hell's my coffee?
The backstory, Judd said the old ordeal began with a complaint about a naked man at a park. We got a call that he was naked inside of a restroom at a public park, so we asked, is he naked or buck naked? You can be naked and still have your socks on, but if you're buck naked, you are completely naked, Judd
I'm missing
explained.
my soup.
When a deputy arrived, he said Walter Freimeyer had all of his clothes on, so the deputy escorted him out of the park. The deputy explained to Freimeyer that he wasn't going to be arrested even though people saw him without any clothes on because he was giving him a break. Judd said Freimeyer then crossed the street, hopped up on the railroad train track, and trespassed again, so the deputy arrested him. Freimeyer had 25 prior arrests and had been to state prison 5 times. The sheriff explained that all arrestees are put through a body scanner to make sure they aren't trying to bring guns and knives and drugs into the jail. Judd said Freimeyer bought a thermos into the jail. That's right, he put it up the exit ramp. You know what I mean, the sheriff said with a knowing look in his eyes. Judd said, we said, dude, what are you doing here? He said, well, I put that inside my body. He didn't swallow it 24 hours earlier. Judd said the deputy likely saved his life, even though Freimeyer threatened to kill the deputy for arresting him. We had to take him to the hospital. They had to find a specialist. It was quite the ordeal, but he is thermosless in the county jail today.
How in the world?
I mean,
did he get that up there?
Ken, have you seen this x-ray?
Yes.
It's all the way in there.
Yes.
Like, this is in his ribs at this point.
Okay.
It's a big thermos.
I believe you.
Are we sure this isn't a fake story?
This is real news, Ken. Fox 13 in Florida.
Yeah, I've got it too. I've got the same one.
I had a friend, and I have not done the research to investigate where this book came from, but I had a friend who had a book about this where they collected, you've heard stories over the years about doctors in emergency rooms with people coming in that, and 1,000,000 to 1 shot, doc.
Yeah.
1,000,000 to 1 shot. And they collected those x-rays, and it was a kind of a coffee table book with those x-rays. And the things that wind up in the strangest places, guns.
Well,
guns are not long and skinny. Guns have a bend to them. They have a handle.
Well,
this is a thick thermos.
Remember the fella that I dubbed Butt Lightyear? Had a Buzz Lightyear doll up there.
How'd he get him?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Thing went to infinity and beyond.
I was about to say, it gives new meaning to infinity and beyond.
Do you think he just sat on it by accident?
What, this thermos?
Million to 1 shot, Doc. 1,000,000 to 1 shot.
Well, I would think he'd have to sit on it.
I tripped and fell on a thermos.
That's right.
I have no idea how he's still alive.
So
yeah, it's poking organs.
You're the ass man. It's a great episode.
I wonder what surgery
I wonder what was in it.
I mean, you just pull it out from whence it came.
No.
Well, they'd have to.
I mean, that's the way you do it.
No, I think you do like a surgical extraction where you cut open where it is.
Yeah, they probably did that.
I mean, you just let nature take its course.
I don't think nature.
I think nature is irreparable damage.
Okay. I think I'm done with this conversation. I don't want to have anything else to do with thinking about this.
Man.
All right, I'll go next since Ken's probably searching.
Here we go. You're going to have my other one, I guarantee it.
An Alabama sheriff is under fire after a Halloween display depicting an ice raid popped up on his front lawn. But his Cuban wife insists.
Ken's about to swear.
Was that your number?
No, it's not. I'm just cracking up.
No, this is good. I want at some point you're going to have to pull my video up because I want to show you the picture of this thing. I'll tell you when. So, because I got to read the story. The spooky setup outside of the Mobile County Sheriff's house, Paul Birch. It's his home. It shows, this is fun. This is hilarious. It shows 3 skeletons in Immigration and Customs Enforcement shirts and hats chasing 2 skeletons decked out in sombreros and Mexicans' serapas, ponchos, as they attempt to scramble over his front fence. The display has sparked outrage on social media after a neighbor shared the photo of the Republican elected official's gated home, blasting him for, quote, parading racism in his front yard. It's hard to put into words how disappointing it is to see our elected sheriff use his own front yard to mock and dehumanize a group of people, said neighbor Whitney Newman. She's the nincompoop, by the way. I don't think it's cute or funny or anything. And coming from a law enforcement official, it makes it especially and exponentially worse. She cited a quote from Birch on the law enforcement agency's Facebook page, assuring all residents, quote, deserve to live in a safe community without fear. This crosses a line, she said, from a tasteless joke into a public statement about who deserves dignity. I just wish our sheriff would practice what he preaches instead of parading racism in his front yard. To this Whitney lady, I would say, lighten up, Karen. This is a joke, and it's pretty damn funny. And here, I mean, can you see? Hold on, I want to make it as big as possible.
Dude, I got to tell you about something.
I can't make it any bigger than that. I don't know. Can you see that, Jackson? You got that up?
Yeah, it's up.
There's. You see them there? They're two fellas. Here's another one. They're trying to get over the fence there. And the ice is, they're all skeletons. And look at the poor fella. He's stuck. His little poncho is stuck on the fence. My official nincompoop is Miss Whitney, who has a problem with this. This is hilarious. The sheriff's Cuban wife says that she was responsible for putting up the Halloween decorations, and they have now been taken down, and she is going to put up different decorations, and she did not intend to offend anyone in the community. So there you go. Ken Weaver, are there any stories left?
Well, I have one here out of Harris County, Georgia.
All right.
Naked escaped inmate arrested. An escaped inmate was arrested Monday after walking away from a work site and later being found naked. Deputies said the inmate, who was assigned to the Harris County Prison, walked away from a work detail near the Idle Hour boat ramp in Fortson around 2:26 in the afternoon. Deputies and Georgia State Patrol troopers responded to the area. Officials alerted nearby schools, issued a code red alert for residents near the work site. About 20 minutes later, someone flagged down a deputy to report a naked man attempting to stop cars on Lick Skillet Road. The deputy found the man and confirmed he was the escaped inmate, and he was naked. The inmate was arrested, clothed, and put back behind bars.
Huh. Well, did he have a thermos?
Jackson.
If he didn't have a thermos, I think the thermos story wins. I don't.
Oh, the thermos story, absolutely.
I don't know. Y'all
I appreciate the pity, Ken.
Y'all look at these skeletons trying to climb this fence at the sheriff's office in Mobile County now.
Did you see that?
Ice is getting on them. They're pretty funny.
Did you see the video that Trump put out where he's sitting behind the desk? And it's from behind Hakeem Jeffries. Mm-hmm. And Trump's kind of laughing, and he grabs a MAGA hat, and he throws it, and it lands right on Hakeem's head.
I have seen
and Hakeem
this.
puts up the touchdown.
Touchdown! On the
I'm
heels
assuming
of,
that's AI.
Oh, yeah.
This is on the heels of them coming out with the Hakeem and Chuck Schumer in the
I'm telling you, man.
on the sombrero with the sombreros. Everybody gets so mad. Y'all calm down. These are just jokes. Don't be so mad. 53 after the hour. That's how we play NincomPOOPS in the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You can vote Jackson, Thermos Boy. You can vote for Ken Weaver out of pity for having a story stolen, or you can vote for Matt Murphy and the Sombrero Skeletons. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The funny part about the Thermos story is what Y2J named the show today. Yeah, that's true. If you don't know, go to YouTube TV and you can find out. The name of the show is actually from me, not from you. And I didn't know anything about the Thermos story. That's how we play it. Vote early, vote often. Back in a moment on Super Talk.